several counties who are used to competing against one another for development funds and to get them to work together.
Too many times in the past, mayors and county executives competed against our town supervisors. We're all going for the same pots of money around the state. One would win, one would lose. In this case now, we're at the same table.
Members of the council saying competition will not be an issue.
We've been working in a highly collaborative fashion for a long period of time, and that our vision for economic growth and community development is highly inclusive.
A host of meetings are due as the area's vision is refined and specific projects are brought into focus. The Lieutenant Governor overseeing the statewide effort says it's a process that will continue and expand beyond the initial November 14th deadline.
The competition part is a small part of this. This is for the plan itself. But the regional collaborations around the state, I think will bear a lot of fruit in the future.
Duffy says New York is changing the way it does business. In Syracuse, Bill Kelly for Capital Tonight.
We also have an update on some Western New York economic news. Bloomberg News is suggesting that a major Rochester business would be better off broken up into pieces. And it seems to be stemming from Google's acquisition of Motorola's mobility holdings. Mike Heaton reports.
Kodak has something other companies want. Mobile phone technology patents. They're a valuable commodity.
What?
That recently by paying a dot-com era price for Motorola's mobile phone patents.
What's the next viable company? You know, Kodak's got all the patents, and so you're putting two and two together and saying, okay, that makes sense with Kodak.
There's much more to Kodak than its mobile phone technology. However, it appears potential buyers are only interested in acquiring those patents.
They would look to divest the company, break it apart. You know, they get rid of the film side.
Yeah.
It's been bleeding cash for a long time. They probably look to break apart, sell off the assets in the laser printer area too. You know, they just focus just on the patent side of Kodak, because I think that's where the value is right now.
Scott Naska says that type of takeover is a possibility, but he points out that Kodak does have some liabilities, including a pension that is unencumbered by more than $1 million. If another company does acquire Kodak, the new owner would assume the pension liability, and that could make Kodak an unattractive purchase.
I think if it was just strictly a company that had the patents, they would have been bought out by now, but you know, they've got all these other issues and products that they have that aren't as profitable or lucrative to propose buyer.
John Larish is a former Kodak employee and has kept an eye on the company since his retirement. Larish believes there are companies interested in acquiring other areas of Kodak, especially its print products.
This could be somebody from Europe or some other companies. It'll be interesting too because the major printing show coming up in the United States in another month. And this will be a place where there might be some people waiting to pick up the pieces of Kodak that exist today.
In Rochester for Capital Tonight, I'm Mike Dean.
And back in Albany today, the governor's office announced a new agreement between the Office of People with Developmental Disabilities and the state police aimed at preventing abuse of people in state-run homes. The agreement includes a new set of guidelines for how suspected abuse should be reported, and the changes come after a series of reports about abuse by state workers. Mike Whittemore has that story tonight.
Well, good evening. Today's announcement comes after a scathing New York Times expose earlier this year that shed light onto widespread abuse among the developmentally disabled in state-run group homes and other care facilities. The announcement made by the governor's office is a result of a joint agreement between the Office for People with Developmental Disabilities and state police, and it would establish consistent guidelines for reporting incidents of alleged abuse. Now, it is currently mandated that information about any abuse gets forwarded to the proper law enforcement agencies, but recently have been highly underreported. Earlier today, I spoke to Michael Carey. He's been an outspoken advocate for the disabled for several years and championed Johnson's Law, named for his son who died in a mental health facility in 2007
Boy, they're trying to block me left and right.
Carey says this move to crack down on abuse is a good first step of the administration, but he says much more can be done to minimize incidents or even prevent abuse from happening in the first place. As it's been reported, often these agencies do internal investigations, or in some cases reports may get filed, but often go through a bureaucratic loop between state agencies and never actually reach the proper authorities.
Most of these calls, when they are reported, go to the abuse hotline, which is located right here in Albany County. And we want, obviously, those calls to be immediately forwarded to law enforcement. Not just the state police, but also there's local law enforcement. So whoever's the closest law enforcement agency around. And again, critical that these are immediate. This is immediate reporting. This isn't 2-3 days later, a week later. Evidence disappears, bruises disappear, and again, employees are influenced because of fear of losing their jobs. So we want this to be done by law.
Now, this plan will trickle down to the local level as well, with 13 developmental disability service offices charged with working with law enforcement to come up with standard operating procedures.
Oh, come on.
As well as designating
brother.
law enforcement liaison to work with those various.
I got harassed by the police, so I don't want nothing to do with the police. Nope.
Now back to you.
I ain't doing. I stay away from the police as much as possible.
Prices are now a little bit higher thanks to inflation adjustments that go into effect today. The limits are adjusted every 4 years, and New York's contribution limits are already the highest of any states that have limits. As of today, New York becomes the first state to have limits above $100,000. The highest possible contribution is about $102,000 to a statewide party committee. Limits for donations to individual candidates are lower, but NYPER's Bill Mahoney points out they are still above federal limits. Put that in comparison, if you want to write a check to a U.S. Senate candidate, you're held $2,500. So we're 14-15 times higher than the limit now. We're 24 times higher than the limit right now, and we're just continuing to get higher. With limits as high as they are right now, people who can afford to write checks that big get access to candidates that the average New Yorker can't get. If you're going to write a check for $50,000 to somebody, you'll probably get a chance to sit down with them, have a nice dinner, discuss whatever issues are of concern to them, and that's access that the average New Yorker cannot buy. Now, we do have to take a quick break, but up next we'll be talking about health insurance and where you can get your prescription drugs filled. Many insurers are requiring that patients get their medicine by mail. That's a trend pharmacists are trying to fight, and I'll talk with one of them about the uncertain status of the bill passed at the end of the session. And later on, we'll have more on that YNN Marist poll released yesterday. Gavin Donahue of the Independent Power Producers of New York will be in to talk about why support of nuclear power is so divided. That's all coming up as Capital Tonight continues. You'll be driving smarter when you see us at Scoville in Fair.
Our summer clearance event means huge savings. Get that big cash on 2011 Dodge Ram, including Ram Crew Cabs, Ram Quad Cabs, and Ram Regular Cabs. Save on 2011 Jeep models. Get back $1,000 on Grand Cherokee, Jeep Compass, and the legendary Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah, brother.
There's money to be saved when you visit Scoville on Spring Street in Fair. Carpet, free pads, free installation. Are you tired of sales gimmicks that sound too good to be true? Then come to Cutler's, the no-spin zone. We don't have free pads, free labor, but we have the lowest prices in the area. They put together packages offering the lowest install prices for carpet, ceramic, and vinyl. If you want the lowest prices, best installation, best service, and best selection, come to Cutler's. See us first or see us last. It doesn't matter. Cutler's, William Street in Corning. If you go anywhere else, you're paying too much.
Window maximize. YouTube. Broadcast yourself. Windows Internet Explorer. Or short-term care. We provide everything you would expect from a skilled nursing facility. From one of the largest rehabilitation services, including one of our light
Windows Internet Explorer. Windows. Focus on.
to a variety
No
of
other
social
controls.
and
Windows
recreational
Divide.
services.
YouTube. Broadcast yourself. Windows Internet Explorer.
Work to be unique.
Alexandra Victoria, Australia. Knox Marie Amanda Christ Melchizedek's. Amanda Vidvudal. Awesome Knox.